Hi there, this video is going to be demonstrating how we're going to be pulse arc welding this bracelet. So I've done a few welds on this side already, and I'm going to be finishing it up on this side. Something to note is we've gone through the effort of annealing this a little bit, because this had been work hardened and so forth. The joint was very brittle, so annealing will help this process a lot better. I'm also going to be using 28 gauge sterling silver fill wire as needed at this joint. Typically, we will want a sharp electrode for most of our welding projects. However, for the amount of welding I'm going to be doing here, I would like to blunt this electrode so I can go up in power and have smooth pools of metal. If at any time when we're doing projects in silver, it digs a deep hole or ejects metal out of the weld site, rather than forming smooth pools of metal, we're going to want to blunt our electrode or reduce our energy, or both. So we're going to pause here for just a second and get that blunted for us. We have that truncated now, and get that focused in for you so you can see a little bit better. So that's about 50% truncation. We may need to go more, but depending on what we see, we'll make that decision at that point. So for this application, I'm going to run a series of welds along the seam to see if I can get that seam joined and any voids taken care of. And then I'm going to go through and add additional metal as needed in order to make that smooth transition. I'll then do some finishing work with either an abrasive wheel or sanding or file, and then I'll do some polishing in order to get that finished off. Let's do a test weld to see how the energy is looking for us. Helps if I put a weld on. Alright, let's do a test. Alright, let's do another one. So that is looking fairly good. It's ejecting some metal, but I'm not sure if that has more to do with potential solder in the area. But I'm getting smoother pools of metal, but there might be some voids that I'm dealing with as well. It's ejecting more metal than I'm comfortable with. You can see those two holes or divots. So I'm actually going to blunt this electrode further because I want to maintain or increase my power from here. Alright, so we got that down to 75% truncation. And we're going to do a test weld to see how well that does. Yeah, that's loads better now. So I'm going to start in the middle and work my way out, and I'm just going to do a zigzag pattern. And I'm going to get pretty close to the edge, but I'm not going to get all the way to the edge because I don't want to round this off, causing a lot of work for myself. So what I'm going to do is apply this wire near the edge. Let's see if I can find the end of it. Let's see. So I'm going to apply the wire just flat against the edge there, and I'm going to hit my electrode on the inside portion of that bracelet here, and I'm going to smooth it and pull it towards the center. And you can see, because of the wire's position, I'm not rounding that corner off at all. And if I need to, because I want to have this more of a sharp edge, I can build that edge up a little bit and then do any finishing work that will help make that edge nice and smooth from this edge to this edge, so you can't tell this was ever a joint. That's the goal here. I'm going to repeat this process for this side as well. Let's get that rotated. And again, I'm going to be touching the edge that I want to protect, which is this bottom one. And I'm going to hit right in the center. And you see I kind of rounded off the inside corner here. So I'm going to put the wire wherever I want to protect. I put the wire there. And then I can pull the wire from the protected edge into my concave or built up edge in this case. There we go. That's good. So we're going to examine it on all sides to make sure that the planes of my build-up are looking good. It looks like this corner right here needs to be built up a little bit more. One more shot I think will do. There we go. See if I can get it to flow down because it keeps on balling up. There we go. So my angle helped with that. So I was touching the corner of the electrode on that big mound and I was pushing the metal down. So let's go through and do the opposite side of this bracelet. Alright, so that's looking fairly well. So let's lay the wire on the decorative side. See if I can rotate this so we have a better view of what I'm doing. So I'm going to place that wire here and hit the inside. And then again, I'm going to hit the corner of this, see if I can push that down. That seemed to work quite nicely. Same thing. We're going to see if I can put some more wire right here. Just when I'm doing the finishing work, I'd rather have too much here than too little and I have to go back and do it again. So we can see that there's a little divot right there on this right side of the joint. I'm going to start building it up there. And again, I'm putting the wire on an edge that I want to protect. So I'm going to put it here, hit on the inside of that. That looks really good. There we go. So I had a big void there, so I had to fill it up quite a bit. So I probably still have some more to fill up. Let's see. And usually I would have different wires that would fit the job that I'm doing. Since I'm limited to just this one, we are needing to take a more long approach to this. So I'm going to just apply some additional welds right here. And I'm going to come in from behind here and see if I can smooth that out. That looks nice. Again, let's get this grounding cable on this opposite side, see if we can get that smoothed out. I'm going to rotate it up and over like this. I'm just going to lay down some additional wire because I want it to be perfectly flush. And again, I'm going to do a zigzag pattern back and forth. I'll wiggle that wire free so I can reposition it. And where necessary, I may need to reduce my power, which I'm going to do now. I'm going to reduce this down to about 20. and see if I can get this wire to be the only thing that's melting. Now, if you have a 100C or 150S, we can speed up this process a little bit. So I'm going to change my rate of fire to 2 welds per second. And we can see the difference when we do that. So I'm going to lay this flat along this edge here that I want to. So as I'm tapping it, it will weld a lot faster. So I kind of do an up and down motion. You can hold it in the plane like this, and as it returns, it will make another weld. But sometimes when I'm doing a zigzag, I will pull up and then do my zigzag back and forth. Now I'm working with silver, so some of this welding can get kind of warm like it is right now. So that's why I kind of take a slower approach, because I'm working with my bare hands, and so it kind of gets a little warm. And I'm going to, again, repeat this process over and over until I feel like I've built up this edge enough, where I have enough material to remove, making this process look seamless. There we go. And that's getting a little warm. So I can either take a break, or what I've done in the past is I've actually have a little cup of water, and sometimes I can just dip it in water and that cools it down immediately. So I can weld while this thing is wet as well, so just keep that in mind. Sometimes when we're doing large projects, it can get a little toasty. So it's already cooled down, so I'm gonna omit the water approach. Again, let's go through here. I think I'm fairly happy with that. I think I'm ready to get the file out and then smooth that joint out. So I'll pause that and do some of that filing off camera, and then we'll come back and review this. I was able to file that down, smooth it, and I just polished it. I could go through and see if those little tiny pit marks are going to be an issue, and just repeat this process just a little bit. For now, since it has some of these existing marks in the inner band, I'm going to be satisfied with that. And then I was able to embed some of that black resin, or in this case, a treatment to the silver, so that it can have all those details restored in the engravings. If you have more questions about how this was welded, or some requests on what you would like to see more of, we're happy to hear that. If you want to email us at applications@sunstonewelders.com. We'd love to hear your ideas, and we'd love to see how we can best help you with your projects. Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe.